Hello crafters and welcome to Spring into Sandown online craft show, brought to you by From Picture to Page, our mixed media, scrapbooking and papercraft community. My name's Tamara and I'm delighted to be here with you today. Spring into Sandown brings you demonstrations and interviews with our talented retailers and guest artists, and you can watch it all from the comfort of your own home. Details of past and upcoming sessions can be found from our website, from picture to page and beyond.com.au, where you can also see all the details for the online show this weekend, and you can get in touch with the retailers. Now, while you're there, if you haven't already done it, please sign up to get our email newsletter so you can be the first to know of any upcoming events. And you can also get a weekly email which gives you an update, recap, and links to all the videos. Now, whether you're watching us live or you're watching a replay on Facebook, YouTube, or from the P2P webpage, we are delighted to have you here with us today. If you have any questions, put them in the comments field and we'll try and get to them through the session, or we'll go back and answer them later. If you're having a good time, give us a thumbs up, a like, and share with your friends. So, Spring into Sandown is happy to introduce to you Janette from Jcraft. Hi, Janette.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining tonight. I hope you're going to enjoy what I'm going to be showing you. It's my take on some of the Sweet Poppy stencils. So some of the techniques you might have seen before, some of them you might not. So I hope you enjoy it.
I'm sure we will. Can you just give everybody a quick rundown of Jcraft, where you are, what you are, and how you came about, maybe?
Okay, I came about 6 years ago now, I think, after doing it as a hobby for a long time. And then I started doing a few classes from home, brought in some products and started doing the live shows, which are just amazing. So really enjoy that. I'm based in Narre Warren, open by appointment, but have a website, www.jcraft.com.au. And yeah, it's just kind of grown from there, bigger and better.
Excellent. All right, well, I'll give you a second to turn your camera around and then we can jump in and you can show us all your exciting goodies.
Great. Thanks, Tamara.
So, well, this is going to be fun. I had a quick preview of the cards just as we were starting. They are gorgeous. We have so many talented retailers who we are so lucky to be able to bring on board to give you all these great ideas and products to just play with to your heart's content, because this is what it's all about. You've got the products, you just want to get in and have a play. Don't be scared. It's only a bit of paper and ink and things. You want to have a good time. Okay, so Janette, you ready? Excellent, thank you. Over to you.
Hi, right. Let's get started. We'll run through a few of the stencils, but we'll do them as we're going. The first one I'm going to show you is this one here, which is the daisy. And then after we've done that, we're going to run over, and I don't know whether you can see, but it's a little background stencil and it makes it look a little bit like a cross stitch, but we'll show you that as we're going along. Okay, let's get started. So with the Sweet Poppy stencils, they are metal. There are numbers and letters on the front of them. So always have those facing up with you. I've got some watercolor cardstock here, and I'm just literally going to place that down on a magnetic sheet. And I'm going to put my stencil in the middle on the top of it, and that will stick to the magnetic sheet. So as you can see,
I just think that is the best idea. I did buy the round stencil off you after your last craft online.
You did, I noticed that.
Have I played with it yet? Look, no, but I have it. Okay, and that's the important thing. I have it.
You will after this, I'm sure.
I have to get the daisy one now.
Yeah, well, there's a few more to go through, so you're going to love them. Now, because I've got a bit of cardstock showing here, I am still going to use some of the Sweet Poppy low-tack tape down the side, because I did one earlier and I actually forgot to do this and I got all the sides all messy. So I thought, okay, must remember to do that. So we're going to use some pixie powders.
Do you want to bring that a bit towards you? Because you're, yep, a bit more.
Yeah, good.
More. Yep, that's it, in the middle, that's it.
That's better. Usually I'm too far away and I've got to go the other way, but I think I've moved my phone tonight.
That's it.
All right, so I'm just going to use, this one here is the emerald green and a bit of gold, but I'm going to use the Pixie Sparkles in Pumpkin Patch and Sandstorm for this one, just to show you it done in a different colour.
And can I tell everybody that I bought my first Pixie Sparkles from you back at Pakenham, and
Yep.
tell the ladies what you call them. Pixie powders.
Pixie powders on steroids. That's what Reen calls them. Yeah, and I think that's quite a good description of them too. They're just amazing. Yeah,
it is.
So you've got two choices. You can either mist with water first and then put your pixie powders on. But because this stencil is very, very fine, I don't want it to be too wet underneath and let it seep. Otherwise, I'll lose the shape of the flower. So I'm literally just going to pat on the pumpkin patch around the outside. And it looks like we're using a lot of powder, but we're really not. And then I'm going to put some of the Sandstorm, which is a gorgeous goldy colour, just in the middle area, like that, just for like the little pollen pieces. Then I'm going to give it a little bit of a mist. Now, a little misting bottle is better than a spray bottle. It's a lot finer and it's just a bit more delicate for things like this.
Yep.
So as you can see, the colour's starting to pop out, but I'm going to put just a little bit more on this one, purely because I'm going to put the other stencil over the top of it when we've finished. That's it.
A 2 stencil card.
Yeah. And then a bit more misting. And I'm quickly going to get some paper towel.
Look at those colours pop.
Oh, they're just fantastic. And we've had pixie powders, I think, since day one, and I don't know, every couple of weeks we're finding a different way to use them, and they're just brilliant. So I'm just see the colour in there.
Yeah.
So if you were really smart, you would find something to do with that, but for me it just goes in the bin. Peel off the tape, and as you can see, this is watercolour porous paper, and there's not a bit of cardstock come off with the tape. So I'll just peel that off there. Now with the metal stencils, you really need to get them into warm soapy water as soon as you've finished using them. So we'll just lift that off, and I've got a little bowl there. This one has bled just a little bit. That's probably because I'm rushing, but that's okay. I've got one that I dried earlier.
Okay.
Which is here.
No.
That's nice and dry. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get, if I can pick it up. They're so fine and flat.
Slide it down.
Yeah, that's it. So this is the, are we? I did have it here ready. Okay, yeah, that's the daisy. That's Lazy Daisy. They have a spreader, which I'm going to be using here as well. And this is the grid plate stencil. So you can see it really is a grid.
Yeah.
So this, I just need to line it up quite straight with the lines and pop it on the magnetic plate. And I'm going to use some of the Cosmic Shimmer texture paste, which is a clear, purely because I didn't have the Sweet Poppy translucent one when I did this sample, and this is already open, but they do their own, which is absolutely beautiful. It comes in a translucent. I've got a pearlescent white, and I've got a really nice gold as well.
Okay.
So we're just going to get some of this with...
and so the magnetic sheet's strong enough to hold that grid plate, so it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Look.
Jeez.
Yeah. So this is a really messy bit, I must admit. So I'm just going to spread that across there. And it's a really unusual stencil, this one.
It reminded me of something from Parchment Craft for some reason. I don't do Parchment Craft.
And then I'm just going to get the spreader just really lightly. You don't need to press down too hard. And I'm just going to spread that all the way across. And if you miss any pieces, you can go back.
So we're trying to cover the whole page here, not just the daisy.
Yeah. It just gives it a nice even finish. Just right across like this one, you can take it to the edge. Can you see that, the little grid pattern on it?
The background doesn't come out on the white as well, but you can certainly see it on the daisy.
If you listen, sort of, it's a strange feeling, but it kind of dries plasticky. Okay, so that's enough, and I'm going to pop the rest back in the pot and pop that straight into the water too. And
warm water or just cold water is fine?
Cold water is fine. If it's warm, it's a little bit, it comes off a bit quicker.
Okay.
But you need to look after them.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to need my tweezers underneath. You can see that's really well stuck to it. I'm probably going to mess this up with my fingers, but that's okay. And you can just see the difference between the two if I hold them up together. Get them balanced. Can you see?
Yes, yes. You can just see the pattern throughout the leaves. Yes.
Yeah, it just looks like a cross stitch. It's absolutely stunning. So that's that. Now I'm going to give my stencil, my magnetic sheet, a quick wipe down too, because you need to look after that as well.
And I have to ask, how are you going to clean the grid plate? With a toothbrush or something? No,
I've got a little nail brush in here.
Okay.
In there.
Don't put it on your work.
No, and it literally, it just...
Okay, so a nail brush. Good.
Yeah, just a little, and you can see already it's nearly clean.
Okay.
But that's if you get it early. If you leave it, 5 or 10 minutes, it'll start to dry, and then
you've got hard work.
Not so good.
Right.
Yeah, you do.
Right. Play smarter, not harder.
That's it, and it's quick. It's easy to have a bowl right beside you.
Or maybe on your desk.
Some days, not always. So that is pretty much that, and then because that's not dry, I would just mount that then on some cardstock like that, and then onto a 5x7 card.
Okay, beautiful.
And then of course you could have a nice little sentiment on it.
Yeah.
But it really does change it when you put the two side by side.
Oh yeah, just the pixie sparkles. Yep. Pixie powders on steroids, it just jumps right out, doesn't it?
They are, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, so we'll put that one aside. I think I've just dropped it everywhere. That wasn't good. Like I say, magnetic sheets are only a couple of dollars, but if you can look after them, you might as well do that too.
Yep.
So, right, I'll just dry that off, and I will show you what I've got next.
Ready to go.
The top on everything.
I do like to get the paper towels from Aldi because you get a whole humongous roll of paper towels for $5.
That's right, and it's quite a firm one as well, and it's really good for craft work.
Yep.
I find. All right, put the tops on everything. So that's the Pixie Sparkles. Okay, next we are going to use the little Mandala Stencil, which is sweet. Rather cute. How lovely is this?
That's gorgeous.
It's a little card, and I'm using the circle word stamps, and I've chosen. You must have known what I was going to do, I think.
No, I didn't, but I'm happy to see.
And yeah, that's the little Mandala stencil, and this is going to have some blending with it. So I've cut a piece of cardstock here. And I can't see my sizes because I've covered. All right, it's 5x5, the little white piece here. So the finished card is 5.5, which is just a nice little size.
Yes.
You could also decorate a gift bag with this as well, just the little pre-made ones. Okay, now I've used in this one the elements. I've used the lime punch. the russet orange and the mermaid. And I'll just use my brushes. So it's literally, I've got my tap off paper. There we go.
That stencil's getting a lot of admiration. It's beautiful.
Is it really?
Mm.
Okay. Well, Sweet Poppy, I've had them for a little while now, but they're relatively new to me. And for anybody that knows me, I don't do much with inks and things like that, but I really do like these. I've just fallen in love with them.
Yeah, it's just magnificent. It's so detailed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, do you sell those brushes as well, Janette?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I'm waiting on these big ones coming back in, but I do have the Sweet Poppy brand. And I've also, and I can't pronounce the name of it, Van something or other. They've just come in today.
Can't help you with the name. Anybody's out
there?
there?
No, and they do this little holder to match it too.
Oh, okay.
But I literally just put them on the website this afternoon, and I can't for the life of me think of what they were called. But they're all under there. Okay. And they're tools and adhesives. And you can have this as dark or as light as you want. Now with this one, I actually used 3 color inks, but then silly me, I put the lightest color in the middle that I was going to color.
Oops. That
I covered up, so you don't really see it anywhere.
Okay, so this is planning ahead.
Yeah. Well,
you don't. Yeah.
I thought I was, but it looks like I've done the same again, so that's okay. Okay, now. See, I'm just learning at this.
No, you're doing brilliantly. I have a lot more success with those brushes than I have with some of the other methods of blending.
Yeah.
They're really good at getting into the small areas.
And a lot of Sweet Poppy stencils are quite intricate. So it's really good for that.
Plus my cat has less chance of getting her teeth into the bigger brushes. Crazy, she eats paintbrushes.
Oh no, that's expensive.
Yes.
That's more expensive than cat food.
Exactly. Well, she's cardboard boxes too. Don't ask me why. I don't know. She just chews them.
I'm just doing this really roughly just to show you how they come out and how quick a little card this is. You could do a whole kind of...
Yeah. So what was the green colour again? Because that's really quite...
This is Lime Punch.
Lime Punch.
Yep. And literally just take that off. And there you have it.
Oh,
water.
Pretty.
Mount that on some black card, which I've already done, onto the little white card. And that's that.
Wow, doesn't it make it pop?
Yeah. And then I've already... use some black embossing powder and Versamark with the stamp.
Yep.
And then I have just put some foam tape underneath it.
Oh, thank you. Wendy's telling us the brushes are the Vasen brand.
That's it. Yeah.
Probably pronounced that terribly, but thank you very much, Wendy.
Well, I didn't even try, so you're better than me, Tamara. That's I was having a bit of a cop out there.
Under tools on the Jcraft website. Oh, she's all over it.
Oh, well done, Wendy. Thank you. And that literally just gets popped in the middle. And there we have that one.
I've got to play with that stamp set.
You do, yeah. Yeah, you do.
But I need the Mandala Stencil to go with it.
Right.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, there's lots more, yeah. Now, I will show you something a bit special. Lucy, that owns Sweet Poppy Stencil, sent this in with one of her orders recently. And she's actually got this on one of her YouTube channels that she demonstrated. So this is the oval aperture here.
Right.
She's just literally gone around the edges with some salvaged patina, I think, ink.
Right.
And then this is another stencil with just black ink that she's used.
Yeah.
And then the hair with black ink.
Wow.
And that, yeah, stunning. So that takes a bit of pride of place in my house at the moment.
You can just do so much with black and white.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. And you can use them for all sorts of card occasions.
We'll get on to this one now, because this one takes a little bit longer.
Okay.
And then I do have a couple of other goodies to show you at the end, depending on how time goes.
I love shopping.
So this is the, oh my gosh, the Ornate snow globe. And it looks quite big in the packet, but you can actually fit it on a 5x7 card.
Oh, okay. Could you maybe turn that upside down to you and lift it up a little bit so we can, oh, yeah, look at that, ladies. And all that sparkle.
Oh, I know. I have to have sparkle.
Well, yeah, warms my heart.
Well, it's a snow globe, so what else? Yeah. So Sweet Poppy have brought out some stamps as well, some Christmassy ones. They do have some with words, but they brought out some lovely Christmas ones. And this one is Small Winter Cottage.
Right.
So that's the one I'm going to be using today. Am I still upside down with that?
Yes, you are. Yeah. That's it. Perfect. Yep. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the snow globe stencil. I've got some blending card. Just move those out of the way. And my magnet again.
That's just such a great idea. So simple.
Yeah.
Vi's saying she needs those stamps. Yes, you do. I'd love to see what you do with them,
Vi. You do, Vi. Okay, so just pop that down. And again, because I've got a little bit of card showing, I will tape it. If I haven't got card showing, then I don't worry too much. You
don't want to just trim it down after the event, or you need it for that specific?
No, because I like it was even with my 5x7 card, so I just left it like that. It does just fit. I didn't think it would to start with, because I like a bit more of a border around them.
Yeah.
But I would have had to have made a bigger card to do that. So now just move these others out of the way. For this one, I'm using the Elements inks again. So we've got Della Blue, which is one of their new ones. Confetti, that's one of their new ones. And Sundance, which are all lovely.
Yeah, lovely combination.
So I thought, well, you've got the dark sky, you've got like the sunset and a little bit of the moon, kind of. That was my thinking.
Yep.
Like I say, I'm just learning all this stuff.
No, it's brilliant.
I just want this quite light. So tap that off a fair bit. And let's start over this side.
And those brushes would be very soft on the detail in the stencil too, I imagine.
Yeah, they are. And I'm just kind of flicking it in off the edges.
It's just, yeah, that is just so detailed that you really wouldn't want to bend them at all, would you? So
you can bend them back again, and I usually kind of line them up when I put them on the magnet, just to make sure, because sometimes when you clean them, they're not always flat, but you just kind of twist them back in again like that. Especially if you're doing like the pixie powders, because you don't want anything to seep in. So the flatter it is, the better.
Cheryl's asking if the Elements ink pads are juicy.
Very juicy, yes.
And do they come with re-inkers?
No.
Not yet.
No.
Well, if they're really juicy, you probably wouldn't need a re-inker for a while. So give some time to come out with something new.
And these are new to me as well. And the reason I got them was because Sweet Poppy do a lot with Lavinia. And some of the stencils, the Sweet Poppy stencils, are designed by Lavinia. And that's the inks that Lavinia have. So they kind of just all work together. So I thought, no, I need to have some of those inks.
Yes, always. Now, Sandra's asking if the stencil and magnet sheet would work with an art journal book. Now, I would imagine that it would.
I would think so, yeah.
So you just put it under the page you're working on, the magnetic sheet, and then the stencil on top should still hold.
Yeah, and I mean, if not, it doesn't harm to put just a little bit of tape on there as well, just for added security, I suppose. You don't want to ruin what you've already done. But
and Sandra,
yeah,
when in doubt, just try it.
because this is, the other one I was using was 300 GSM watercolor cardstock, so that's quite thick, and it does hold that quite well.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, art journaling I think would be all right.
Yeah.
I say this is quite different for me and out of my comfort zone, but that's okay.
Yeah, look, I only started blending myself a little while ago, and like everything else, it's practice. You know, once you get over the, oh, I've never done it or I can't do it, and you just sit down and do it, it will come easier. So go for it. If you ever wondered, you know, what happens if, just try it out, I think.
And especially when you sell the products, you really should know how to use them, shouldn't you?
Yeah, that's kind of a...
Even though I don't like dirty fingers, the first thing I'll do when I'm finished is
hey, we're crafters.
I know. Now this is a lot darker than the first one I did, but you're never going to get to do the same anyway.
That's
but
exactly
you can see
right.
what I'm doing. That's the dark sky. This is the sunset. Well, that's my take on it anyway.
Yeah, and you're bringing the colour in. So
yeah, start from the outside and bring it in.
Yep.
And that's pretty much all for that one. And Sandown. It's just like you're combing someone's hair, I think.
That is.
trying to get the tangles out.
I used to do that for my nieces, but they'd run screaming from the room.
Okay, so that is pretty much that one. Now I've got one that I did finish earlier so that I can show you the next part a little bit quicker. So we will take that off.
And just with the inks, there's no imperative to put it in water because that will just wash off.
It will, but I would still do it as soon as I can. But because I'm going to reuse this and put the paste on the bottom, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a wipe at the moment. Okay. But you can see.
Wow, look at that design in the corner there. Wow.
There's a little bit of a difference, but they're both just gorgeous.
Yes, definitely.
We're around, aren't you? That better?
Yourself in knots, yep. Yeah, that snowflake detail is just beautiful.
And I've seen them use this part of it here, and they've actually done a merry-go-round little horse.
Oh, yeah.
And they've put one of these on the bottom and one at the top, and they've got the horse going down the middle.
Oh, okay.
So clever.
Yeah. So now Michelle's just asking what the tape was. So that was just a low-tack tape, I take it?
Yeah, Sweet Poppy, it is their stencil tape. Like this, they've got their own label on it, low tack removable stencil tape, and it's 25 meters and they're $8 a roll.
Okay.
And it really does lift beautifully.
Yes, I buy tapes from random places at times, and I've learned which ones not to use because when I pull it off, it takes off half the paper with it. So
yeah,
not as low tack as I thought it was going to be.
All your good work is done then. Yes. And so I'm just going to wipe off these outsides quickly because I'm going to reuse this one right away. So this is one that I did earlier, and I've put the little house stamp on, and I've just embossed it in black.
Yep.
In the middle as well. With the first one I did this afterwards, but for the purpose of tonight, and I've backed it on just some blue shimmer cardstock.
Okay.
I'm just going to pop this on, and hopefully I get it in the right spot. Yep, that will do. I'm just going to reuse a couple of bits because
might as well.
They're okay. There's nothing disastrous on those. And again, with the translucent paste, and I hope I do this properly. It's a couple of weeks since I did the first one, so
okay.
Just get my spatula out again.
Wendy wants to know if you could use any embossing powder. So it was just a black, wasn't it? A black.
Yeah. You could do it in any colour as well. Yeah. So I'm just going to spread a bit of this over the bottom area because that's the only bit that I want with that one.
It's a very delicate operation at the top there.
Yeah, it's a bit like polyfiller, isn't it? And it doesn't matter if it's even or not really, because you're going to be putting glitter on it, or I put glitter on it. So
now Margaret, hi Margaret, is asking what sort of paste that is. So that was a translucent.
This one I'm using is, better put the lid on, haven't I?
Cosmic Shimmer.
The Cosmic Shimmer clear texture paste.
There we go.
But the Sweet Poppy one is called Stencil Dimensions, and it's translucent, so very similar.
Okay.
But I'd already opened this, so I thought, oh, okay, we'll run with that one.
Yep. There's no point having two open.
No. Usually as soon as I get the Sweet Poppy stuff in, it just sells out. So
understandable.
Right, so all I've done with that then, so I've just put it across this little bottom section.
Yep.
Then I can take off the tape. And lift off the stencil.
Straight.
And I can see already that's kind of muted the colours.
Yep.
And where is my glitter? Right here.
I love glitter.
So I've literally just sprinkled, and this is the Diamond Frost glitter, and I've got the Frosty Dawn here, but any opaque glitter would be good for it.
So that lid just unscrews so you can get it back in?
Absolutely, yeah. Just like, and it's got quite a wide neck on it, so it does it quite well.
Yeah.
And I didn't get my sheet of copy paper. Hang on.
Essential tool, copy paper.
Embossing
powder or glitter. And you need
try to run through everything and
a separate one for each colour.
So you can see actually with this on the black cardstock what the different colours are in it. And that's
magnificent.
So that was that. Then on the roof of the little houses, I just got my glue on parts of the trees, and wherever I thought it needed just a little bit of snow. Which is pretty much everywhere, but
hi Jackie, hi Tammy. So getting lots of love here for this.
Oh, good. I didn't want to do too much Christmas stuff, but
got to do something.
They've just done an amazing job of the Christmas stencils.
Well, we're October now, so it is time to seriously start thinking about Christmas cards.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's just some of the Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue that will dry clear.
Right.
And I forgot to mention too, before I put the stencil back on and the texture paste on, underneath the white cardstock here, I did put a big sheet of double-sided tape, purely because when these are damp, the shape can go out of them.
Right.
So to stick it down to here, I've used really wide tape.
Yep.
So that it's nice and flat.
Yes. Okay. So it keeps its shape. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that.
Just gorgeous.
And then that will just go on with some clear glue. I'm just going to be a little bit hard to press this one down because it's a little bit wet in the middle, but it'll be okay.
Don't smudge anything.
No. I'm getting all my Christmas cards done at this rate too, which is good.
Oh, that is just beautiful.
So yeah, that's the Ornate snow globe.
Just bring that towards you a bit. No, towards you. Yep, that's it. Isn't that gorgeous, ladies? Wow, just magnificent.
I mean, you could put some little gems on the snowflakes in the middle as well. You could put some more glitter if you wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Your colours are up to you, but I just kind of liked the way this worked.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. It's magnificent. Now, did you have some other things you wanted to show us? Because we're probably pushing the time limit.
Yeah, there's a couple. So they've also done a Christmas tree. And they have done a little robin.
Oh, lovely, sweet.
And that's got a Merry Christmas and Peace on Earth word stamps too. So they would
fit in the snow globe.
Yeah, they would. They'd be tight, but that doesn't matter if you go outside the boundaries. That's okay. So that was those two. Then I have a couple that I did a while ago. Now I did this one.
Wow.
And this is on the watercolor cardstock.
Yep.
I have used the Pine Sprigs stencil.
Oh, beautiful. Again.
And I've used some clear texture paste and I've mixed it with some pixie powders.
I should have thought of that. It does. It stands out. Yeah.
And just lifted it right off and put some bling in the middle. Yeah. Instant.
Yeah.
Instant card. I did the same with this one, only this was the copper pixie powder straight onto some watercolor cardstock, copper only, lifted it off, and this one comes with the little bow die.
Oh, okay.
Which then I just put in some mirror card. You could put that through an embossing folder first if you wanted to.
Yes.
That would be fine. So that was that. I'll just go and grab a couple more because we are running a bit quicker than I thought, or either that or I've talked too much or too quickly.
I was asking too many questions. So just magnificent. I'll have to start a shopping list, again. Last time I saw Janette, there was a bit of a shopping spree happening.
There was.
Oh, look at those.
I'm going to grab the stencils that go with these.
That's what I got. I got the circle, ladies.
Which I've actually sold out of at the moment.
So yeah, Margaret, I'll be buying a few probably. I tend to do that. I've got to start restraining myself.
Is that Marguerite that's on there?
No, Margaret.
All right. Because it was one of my clients that actually put me onto these.
Well, we thank her profusely.
Yes, she contacted me and said, Janette, have you heard of Sweet Poppy stencils? Would you consider getting them in? And I thought, not heard of them. So I had a bit of a look and I thought, wow. So that was it. So we have Marguerite to thank for that.
Now, Michelle's just asking if you know when the circles will be back.
Not for a couple of weeks. They've actually been lucky enough over in the UK to do a couple of in-person shows, which they haven't done for 2 years, a bit like us, and they're doing a couple of back-to-back ones. So by the time they get back in office, and yeah, it could be 2 to 3 weeks, but they will be back in.
Okay, so you'll have to keep looking at the website, Michelle.
Yes. So that's a circle one, and I've used that with the texture paste and pixie powders again.
Okay. Marguerite is here. Thank you, Marguerite. We appreciate you spotting this for us.
All the way from Tasmania. Hi, Marguerite. So that's another one with the circle. That's another one and I've just put a frame around that and put a Merry Christmas die over the top of it.
Oh, wow.
This is the oval aperture, which is what
that rabbit, yep,
came out of. And I don't have Do I have the hair? Yeah, I do actually. I've got a couple of those just come in. And that is
the tree. Yep.
This one's discontinued now. So once these are gone, that's it. But they're only $13. So for a metal stencil, that's quite good. But just black inks. And then all she's done along the bottom is just drawn it in with a black marker.
Okay, so how many of the trees have you got that we need to fight for?
Probably about 5, I think.
Got 5. Okay, first 5. First in, first best dressed.
This is one of the new back plates that they just brought out with the patterns. That's a Harmony one.
That's gorgeous.
I haven't tried yet, but they're quite new. I just had to do the snow globe. That was my favourite.
No.
This is a plaid. Now this gives you like a tartan effect.
Yeah.
You can do all your different colours going through it. There's some wonderful stuff done with that. Just have a look at Sweet Poppy on YouTube. They're just absolutely amazing. Oblong aperture. There's the star.
Yep.
There's been a lot of things done with the star recently, and they might just have something in the corner of them, a little fairy or even something in the middle.
I think I've seen one of those.
Or you can make them Christmassy, or I mean, you could do the little house again and just offset it.
Yeah.
And the square, and then there's quite a lot of others. There's bells and baubles and different flowers. Yeah.
Well, that was just wonderful. Thank you so much, Janette. I'll give you a second to turn the camera back around, and we can have a first.
All right. Cool.
So this is just amazing. I just love watching these demonstrations, but it is so hard not to go out and buy everything. And I know it's use what you have, but when you see these ideas, I just can't help myself. I've got to have those things. So, Janette, you ready there for me? Okay.
Sweet Poppy.
Look, the stand.
Yay!
Excellent. All right, so 5 of those trees, first 5, get them. Now,
actually, no, there's only 3 left. Sorry.
Got one on your desk?
Yeah, that's including that one, unfortunately.
Okay. Now, did you have a special you wanted to mention?
I do. So for anyone that orders from the show tonight, if you put a note in the comments that you've watched the show, I will put you in a combination of some blending paper and some watercolor paper. So, but you just need to mention it in the comments. There's also free shipping over $100. That's normal. Obviously shipping is taking a little bit longer out of Victoria at the moment, but I'm trying my best, so just please be patient.
It is what it is.
Yeah, so I always put a little free gift in anyway, but if you put it in the comments, you'll get your extra little freebie. So
that's very generous.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much, Janette. They were just wonderful cards. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Tamara. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. You take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Well, again, I'm just speechless because that was just such a lot of fun to do. It's been a magnificent afternoon of retailing knowledge to be able to just watch all these beautiful things taking shape right in front of us. Which is why these online shows are so fantastic when we can't actually get there in person. So thank you very much for spending some time with us today, and we hope you've learnt something and had lots of fun, and jump in there and support our local retailers like Janette. So have a very crafty evening. Good night, everyone.